Imagine waking up without alarms, without houses, without cities. No electricity, no money, no written language. This is not a movie. This is not fiction. This is how we once lived. Welcome to the Stone Age, a time that shaped humanity itself. Today, we will travel back tens of thousands of years to understand how Stone Age people lived, survived, hunted, ate, loved, feared, and dreamed. What is the Stone Age? The Stone Age is the longest period of human history, lasting over 3 million years. It is divided into 3 main phases: Paleolithic Age, Old Stone Age, Mesolithic Age, Middle Stone Age, Neolithic Age, New Stone Age. Stone tools defined this era: sharp hand axes, spears, knives, and scrapers, all made from stone, bone, or wood. But Stone Age people were not primitive animals. They were intelligent, emotional, and deeply connected to nature. Where did they live? Stone Age people didn't build houses like we do today. They lived where survival was easiest: caves, rock shelters, forests, savannas. They used caves for protection from weather and predators, huts made of branches, leaves, and animal skins, temporary camps near rivers and forests. These shelters were not permanent. When food became scarce, they moved. Stone Age humans were nomads, always on the move. Food and hunting. Survival every day. There were no farms, no markets, no second chances. Every meal was earned or lost. Stone Age people lived as hunter-gatherers, moving with the seasons and the animals they depended on. Hunting. They faced creatures larger and stronger than themselves: deer, bison, wild boar, and even mammoths. Armed only with stone-tipped spears, bows, and simple traps, they hunted not alone, but together. Each hunt was carefully planned. Each movement mattered. A slip of the foot, a broken spear, a wrong decision could mean injury or death. But success meant food, warmth, and life for the entire group. Gathering. While hunters risked their lives, others searched the land with equal skill. Fruits, berries, roots, nuts, honey, and wild plants were carefully collected, knowledge passed down through generations. Women and children often led this task, knowing which plants healed, which nourished, and which could kill. Survival depended on memory as much as strength. Fire, the turning point. Fire changed everything. It cooked food, making it safer and easier to eat. It gave warmth during freezing nights. It kept predators away. Around fire, stories were shared, bonds were formed, and humanity grew. Fire was not just a tool, it was life itself. Clothing and tools, simple but smart. Stone Age people didn't wear fashion, they wore survival. Clothing was made from what nature provided: animal skins and fur for warmth, plant fibers for lighter coverings. Bone needles stitched these materials together, proof of patience, skill, and innovation. Tools. Their tools may look simple, but they were masterpieces of necessity. Hand axes for cutting, scrapers for cleaning hides, knives for precision, spears for the hunt. Each tool was shaped by hand, each edge carefully sharpened. Nothing was wasted. Every stone had a purpose. Every tool told a story. Family and social life, together to survive. Stone Age people did not survive alone. They lived in small tribes, usually 20 to 40 individuals, bound not by law but by trust. Family was not just blood, it was the group. Elders carried wisdom and memory. Children learned by watching, copying, and listening. Food was shared, not owned. There were no kings, no wealth, no status, only survival, together. The injured were cared for, the elderly were protected. Even in a brutal world, compassion existed, because they understood one truth above all else. Alone, they would die. Together, they lived. Art, belief, and emotions. Stone Age humans were not just survivors. They were artists, thinkers, and believers. Deep inside dark caves, far from sunlight, they painted their world onto stone. Cave paintings, animals in motion, hunting scenes filled with danger and hope, handprints, a silent message saying, "I was here." These images were more than decoration. They were stories passed down through generations. They were rituals meant to bring success in the hunt. They were lessons for the young. Stone Age people believed that nature was alive, that animals had spirits, that the land had memory, and that ancestors still watched over the living. Death was not an ending. It was a passage. They buried their dead with tools, food, and care, believing the journey continued beyond this life. Even in a harsh world, their hearts searched for meaning. The Neolithic Revolution, a major change. Everything changed the moment humans learned to shape the land instead of following it. This marked the beginning of the Neolithic Age. For the first time, people stopped wandering and began to settle. They learned to grow crops from the soil, domesticate animals for food and labor, build permanent homes instead of temporary shelters. Villages emerged, populations grew, the foundations of civilization were laid. But this new way of life came at a cost. Farming demanded endless labor. Close living spread disease. Property created inequality. Some gained power. Others lost freedom. The Neolithic Revolution was not just progress, it was a trade-off. And from that trade-off, the modern world was born. What we learn from Stone Age people. Stone Age people lived without modern technology, yet they survived, adapted, and thrived for millions of years. They listened to nature instead of trying to conquer it. They took only what they needed, knowing that greed meant extinction. They lived together, not in competition, but in cooperation. Strength was shared. Food was shared. Knowledge was shared. They valued survival, family, and balance, not wealth or power. They understood that life was fragile and every day was a gift. In many ways, they were not poorer than us. They were wiser. Closing thought. The next time you shape a tool, feel warmth from a fire, or share food with someone you care about, remember where it all began. Before cities, before machines, before words were written, there were hands that learned, hearts that trusted, and minds that adapted. Deep within us still lives that ancient instinct to survive, to belong, and to protect what matters. Civilization may have changed our world, but the Stone Age still lives within us. If this journey through the Stone Age inspired you, subscribe for more stories about our past and our planet. Like the video, share it, and watch again. You'll always notice something new. Our story is far from over. Stay curious. See you next time.